Hey guys, what's up? Today is March 3rd, 2016. I haven't made a video in a while. I'm actually going to be putting two up today. The first one's going to be this one, obviously my personal transition stuff, and then the second one's going to be a little bit more informative about top surgery, my experience with it, but also just sharing a little bit of my research knowledge with it. So just to jump into this video, I haven't made one since November, and there really hasn't been anything month to month that's worth reporting on, but over the last 3.5 to 4 months, enough has changed that it's probably worth doing an update on. It's mostly the same stuff. I mean, it's not like I'm magically getting these new changes that haven't happened. It's just basically certain ones have chosen to manifest themselves more noticeably than other ones. I mean, like, for example, my voice, I don't think it's going to drop at this point any further, and I hope it doesn't, because I kind of like where it is, and it stopped cracking, and it's great. So I'm kind of hoping that doesn't change. But the biggest changes I've noticed have been hair growth and body strength and mass. Those two things have been really kicking into gear, more noticeably than at any other point in my transition. That's saying something. That's saying quite a lot. Because every time I think, oh, I'm going to plateau with strength, I haven't so far. Well, no, I take that back. I haven't as far as general strength. Like, overall, I haven't hit a plateau. Certain things, like certain lifts, plateau for a little bit, but they consistently keep going up. My upper body strength has gotten a massive boost over the last 4 months. Before, I was able to do a couple chin-ups and like maybe 1 or 2 pull-ups, and now I can bust out a couple pull-ups, a few pull-ups, strict pull-ups in a row, and do quite a few chin-ups as well. So that's been a noticeable defining difference, is overhead strength, and I think that part of why it's been so difficult for me to build that up was post-surgery and everything, and I'm finally, I'm about 10 months post-op, so I'm finally back, like, full back at everything, have overcome the initial recovery, but also, like, gotten back into the routine and everything, so I'm kind of back to 100% at this point. So that's been good. I've noticed a huge difference in my upper body. My arms have gotten drastically larger. My chest is filling out, my shoulders are filling out, my back is getting quite a bit stronger. My legs are pretty much staying around the same, but I don't necessarily think it's that they're staying the same, it's that I've been focusing more on overhead stuff and upper body stuff, so that's where the gains have been noticeably growing. My legs are still getting stronger, but at a slower rate, and my legs have always been the stronger portion of my body, like by quite a bit. So my upper body's finally catching up, and that's nice. Yeah, so that's been good. I'm seeing quite a bit of definition. I've also lost a bunch of weight, and partially that's due to stress and just life stuff happening. It's not entirely intentional. I mean, I'm not upset about losing a little bit, because I've got a little bit to lose, so it's not too big of a deal. But I think also I'm finally, like, out of my T-bulking phase, and I'm starting to kind of, like, lean out and get more of that traditional masculine shape, where before I think I had a very boxy shape. I always have. It was very slim and boxy, and that's kind of how I've always been, where now my upper body here is starting to taper in. I think once I lose a little bit more of my gut, it'll be more noticeable. But yeah, I've lost a good amount of fat. Not weight as far as number on a scale. That's only gone down by a couple pounds. But the muscle that I put into my upper body is kind of taking the place of the fat that's been everywhere else. So that's good. I'm excited to see that. I'm hoping that I can continue that train and lose a little bit more, kind of get more of that lean look going on. But we'll see. Yeah, so those are the two big ones, as well as body hair. I've noticed a huge difference there over the last 4 months. That's been oddly happening now. It just didn't for the longest time. Like, I look around and there are guys who are 4 months on T and have more facial hair than I will ever have in my entire life, and it's kind of disappointing. But I've started to get to the point where I actually do have to shave about every 3 days, which is weird for me, because I used to, when I first started T, I would shave every couple weeks just to make sure that there wasn't any, like, wispiness, and then probably 6 months on T, I would shave every every week or so, just to clean up, because the peach fuzz was starting to come in, and it wasn't even that you could necessarily see it, it's just that cis guys don't have fuzz going on typically, so I shaved it just so that my face was clean. Now I'm getting to the point where I have to. My mustache is coming in. I let it grow out for like a month just for fun to see what would happen. It basically just looked really creepy. It was at that point where it was like, what is going on? Is it like a mustache, or is it just a weird shadow on your lip that's been there for a while and it's disgusting? And if you look up close, it's like all these super thin, scraggly hairs. It was awful. So I shaved that, thankfully. But yeah, I have to shave about, I would say, every 3 to 4 days now. Give or take. And if I don't, I just get some really wonky hairs going on, particularly out of my chin area. I've gotten quite a bit for me, quite a bit of chin hair and this sideburn stuff going on, as well as my upper lip. I'm not really getting anything in this cheek region. Apparently that's the last thing to fill in. I haven't gotten any neck hairs yet at all. They've all been pretty much limited to this area, this area, this area of my mustache. So yeah, that's that. The rest of my body hair has been getting thicker, darker, and filling into more places. I have back hair that's getting kind of gross now. My leg hair used to just grow like down the front of my shin, and now it's wrapping around the back, as well as the back of my thighs. My belly hair is coming, I'm getting a thin layer of fuzz. My chest hair, I'm getting some fuzz. I actually have one real chest hair, that's kind of fun. One. But yeah, no, I'm just getting quite a bit fuzzier, I think, overall, which it's not a big deal at all, but that's definitely been something that didn't happen, and then all of a sudden it was there. So that's been weird to see happen. Other than that, my face shape has changed, I think, drastically over the last few months. My head's gotten boxier, and my jaw seems to be wider than it was. Like, I guess I don't notice my face changing every day, but when I even look back at pictures from a few months ago, it looks completely different. And then if you go back like six months plus, it's almost like, I don't know, it's changed quite a bit. And that was also unexpected. I didn't really expect massive noticeable changes to continue happening at this point. I think from here on out, I'm just going to continue kind of down that vein of just my body settling in and figuring its shit out, basically. But I don't expect any massive changes from here. But yeah, so anyways, the second thing I wanted to do after T changes is do a quick chest update, because I have not done that in a while, and it's, yeah. So anyway, so there's that. That's at, let's see, 10 months, yeah, 10 months post-op. My scars always look super dark. There, that's actually much better. That light is much better. That's about what they look like. You can definitely see them, but like when I go down here, they look super, super dark, and they're not really that dark in real life. But yeah, my scars have been lightening up pretty nicely. I'm very happy with it overall. The contours really starting to take shape, and it's the lumps and just kind of oddities are starting to really work themselves out. And I still have a couple months here. They say within the first year that that's when things tend to settle in. So I still have a couple months. But yeah, things have been settling in quite nicely, especially over the last few months, so I thought that would be worth mentioning. I'm getting a good amount of definition in my chest. I think you can kind of see. Yeah, there you go. You can kind of see I'm getting a good amount of pec. Upper pec, lower pec stuff is still struggling a little bit. But yeah, I don't think you can see the drain sites on either because my armpit hair covers it up. But when I had my drains, they came out through there. But yeah, no, my nipples are still kind of not really filled in yet, which is annoying. Apparently that's fairly common with people of color, not as much with white people, but apparently it's a relatively common thing with like black and Asian and Latino men to have happen. It's not a big deal, and like from here you can't even tell. It's a really small thing, and they're slowly coming along. I don't know if they'll ever fully fill in or not, but it's been a slow road on that one. Yeah, no pain or anything like that. Everything's great, filling in just how I want it to. So it's a pretty short update, but I just wanted to give you that real quick. Other than that, that's pretty much all I've got for my 14 and a half months on T update. I'm going to do a quick video here as well about top surgery and stuff. So if you would like to check that out, feel free to do so. Other than that, take care and have a wonderful Thursday.